One of the big ones is fishing. I used to love to get in the little John boat and go fishing and this type of stuff. And I knew that was out. Just one tip of the boat, I'm over the side and bye-bye Jeff. You know, the fish will get me rather than me getting the fish. Water is a thing I used to enjoy. So there's another band of restriction, water being the key element. So anything to do with water has been eliminated from my life, really. We went on an Alaskan cruise, and there was several of the expeditions where you got into a very small boat and go whale watching or something. Well, those I eliminated from the choices that I had while I was on the cruise.
Taking a shower, because when I first got out, it's a process you have to go through when you take a shower. You have to put cellophane on where your drive line is. Then you have to take your machine out of a bag. They give you a shower bag. Then you have to put that machine in the shower, the controller, the batteries in the shower bag. And hell, by then you tired just putting all the stuff. And then when you get in the bathtub, you have to have a chair. You sit there, you take your shower, you get off, you dry off, then you get back and start taking it all out again. By then you're real tired because your arms is tired of doing this and that. I was so used to just getting in the shower, getting out, but with this you just can't get it because you have to make sure your machine don't get wet and your batteries don't get wet.
They were very challenging. At the first, I kept telling them, nope, you're not going to put me in the shower. And the coordinator goes, you know you're going to have to get in there. You're going to have to face it. Get in, don't be scared. I said, no, I can't do that. I don't want to get this machine wet.
I get depressed at times because it definitely makes you aware that death is not too far. And you have to determine what too far is. Is that 15 years, 10 years, 5 years? How far do you feel that is out there? So I get depressed about that at times.
I'm still learning to adjust that it's attached to me. I'm still learning it because sometimes I'll sit down and I'll take it off and I'll just sit on my side. And I get up to go. She said, no, hook up. I said, you know, because there's times I will, you know, I'm looking at something or I'm doing something and I'll forget that I have to hook up before I take off.
It still, squashes my travel a little because, and I have to be careful, like where you go. I would want to get on a gambling bus maybe in my thing and go up for a day of gambling, but where would I put my extra batteries? You can't. It's like, what would I do with the extra stuff? So there's some things that I can't do. My husband said, he kept telling me, it's just like a baby. If you had a baby, you'd have to pack it around. I said, but you can lay the baby down every once in a while. You can't with this, but it is. I mean, you get used to it. It's a responsibility, but you can still live your life.
You got to be a little bit careful where you're walking and where everything is, because when you go through a doorway, you're going to hit the door frame from time to time with your batteries, because mentally you're thinking of your hips being this wide. Well, you got that extra 1.5 inches on either side. So there's little small things like that occur to you.
I used to carry it in the bag, just like everybody else, but it's just dragging, and sometimes I'd leave the bag, right at first I'd set the bag down on the walker, like if I was reaching for something in the pantry, and I'd turn and I'd forget, and I had it drop a couple times. And it's just all that weight, because you even put the controller in the bag, and all that weight was on my neck, and I wasn't comfortable, and it was just something else I felt like I was carrying. My hands were more involved, it seemed like. So they had a vest that came with these holsters, And then I looked, I had the belt, so I thought I put the, the holsters on here and then I could carry my batteries on my hips. So anyway, I just stick them in the holster, and then I put them both on the belt, and they slide around sometimes. But and this one, it's kind of limited to how far back of me it can go, because for some reason they made this cord a lot shorter. But then also this is more secure. I'm not tending to walk away from my controller, which goes into the drive line. So, because I've had it once, even at the doctor's office, it dropped off the table a little bit. She was like panicking. But I've been lucky. I haven't had anything happen. And I'm not a fashion statement when I go out, but I have freedom of movement.
She is very conscious and aware that infection is probably one of the biggest things you got to avoid. When we go to the hospital, we constantly are using the antiseptic stuff for your hands. We actually have a bottle of it at the back door. If somebody comes in with a cold or a cough, she will ask them to clean their hands before they come in and talk to me. So she is very conscious of infection is the enemy. We've got to avoid it at all costs.
It took a while. When I first got it, it took me a while to accept that I have it. But once I learned to accept it, it was like a new me, a younger me.
Believe it or not, I was a very introverted person. Because of this, I am very extroverted. I have no problem talking to anybody about this. I have no problem walking up to strangers now and just carrying on strange conversations with them about anything they want to talk about. So it has brought my personality out quite a bit.
I say this to myself, Brenda, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And that's how I cope with a lot of stuff.
More motivation, a lot motivation, a lot stronger, more spirit, more spunk.
The biggest improvements I saw, I was able to walk a lot without getting tired. I was able to go to like the department stores with my daughter, because my daughter likes to walk. And I was able to walk more than I normally would walk. And I was liking that, because I like to shop too.
I get to do more of my hobbies that I enjoy, I love doing, is built-in scale model vehicles. I love doing it, and that relaxes my body, relaxes my mind.
Before I got this, I couldn't do it. But when I got this, I could do a whole lot more than I used to could do. I cleans, I even mop.
The biggest improvement is he is able to play with his granddaughter more. He can actually go outside and run with her and play chase with her and work with his models with her. 2, keeping his food down. He had a big problem with trying to keep it down.
I tell him not to be afraid of it, and I truly believe, I know some people may be older than I at the time, some people are younger, I've met them, but they shouldn't let it limit them. They can do what they're doing now, and probably more, because they've been suffering with heart failure for so long. A lot of them haven't been able to do a lot of stuff, and that they should consider that even though they've got some baggage to carry around, it may be, their life may increase.